Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help, and welcome back to another video today. Today's video is going to be really exciting. Jagex has showed us what they plan on making the new prayer book to look like. So today I'm going to go over the new prayers that have been introduced, tell you my thoughts on how I think they will be, and if they should add these prayers into the game. I would love to know what you guys think down below. Make sure to comment what you think about this. Let's look at these new prayers. Okay, so the first one is Overprotection. It is a utility type prayer. Protect 2 items on death, but drains prayer by 25% of damage taken while active. Okay, this one's good. You can protect 2 items. This can be useful for people going in the wilderness to do something like a clue scroll or whatever, even PKing, right? But it seems like it would be easier to get smited. Or am I wrong by saying that? I don't know. I'm for this one 100%. I think this one is good. Let's go to the next one, Rejuvenation. It is a utility / combat. While active, regenerate 1 HP every 20 seconds. Rapid heal wasn't quite rapid enough, so we thought we'd try upping the ante. Would likely have a hefty drain rate attached, so it's not worth just leaving on forever. Okay, so I guess if it was like too overpowered, you would just leave this on all the time and it would be sort of like a soul split thing. But I mean, that doesn't seem that good, really. 1 HP every 20 seconds. I want to see what rapid heal is now. Okay, I just looked it up. Rapid heal is 1 HP every 30 seconds. So this is a little bit better, but it doesn't seem like it's overpowered. So I guess I'm for it in the game. The next one is Dampen. This one is really cool. So this is a protection prayer for melee, magic, and range, but it reduces damage from the appropriate style by 90%. So from my understanding is you could have this one on and you'll only take 10% of damage from anything. So this could be really useful for people that maybe want to learn a boss or aren't good at maybe prayer switching. I think this is what that would be. So just like the overheads you've come to know and love, but slightly less defensive powers. It's worth remembering that old school tends to prefer rounding numbers down, meaning it's possible to take 0 damage using this prayer. Effectively, if you would have hit between 1 and 9 damage, you'll take 0 damage when using this dampen prayer. Or if you would have taken, or if you've been hit at 29, take 2 damage since okay, I actually really like this. It might seem a little overpowered, but if you were praying correctly on the regular spellbook, you'd never take damage, right? So this could be really good for people learning bosses or even in hybrid situations in the wilderness. Like I'm definitely for this one. Okay, the next one is called Absorb, and it's another overhead protection prayer for melee, range, and magic. So reduces damage from the approximate style by 100%, but drains prayer points by 10% of damage. Okay, so pretty much with this one, you're going to want to have a really high prayer bonus. Okay, this could be definitely interesting. This could make them make more updates for prayer gear in the game. Could be overpowered, but then again, usually if you're wearing prayer gear, you can just pray melee or something like that. So I could see it being useful in some scenarios. I definitely do like it. But we would need some more like prayer gear to make this like the new best thing. Yeah, exactly like this thing is saying. Perhaps you're running low on food, but you have a bunch of extra prayer restore, so you could use this instead. So in raids, this could be like really helpful, or you want to squeeze another 1 or 2 kills and not a boss. This could definitely be really helpful. I like it. Okay, so for the next ones, we have the Ancient, Strength, all the ones for magic, range. So pretty much, I do really like these. So this one right here, for example, the plus 20 strength, plus 20 attack, it's not as good as something like Piety, but it's better than, say, ultimate strength. But the good thing about these ones for, say, the Ancient Will, the plus 20% magic, it's better than Mystic Might, because Mystic Might is 15%, right? Magic attack by 15%. So this will be better than Mystic Might, but not as good as augury. It's in the middle. I really do like these, so interesting. And then there's another one here which boosts 15% magic, range, and melee. So this could be for like using all 3 styles. I don't know exactly where this would be useful, but I'm sure it's just not coming to my brain right now. So it's kind of interesting. It's like 15% all in one. So it would basically be like you using ultimate strength, maybe eagle eye, and also mystic might at the same time. I think that's what this prayer would be. Cool. Okay, so I haven't seen any that I hate so far, so let's hopefully keep it up. So we've got Smite. So another Smite overhead offense reduces your opponents and your own prayer points by 33% of damage dealt. Okay, I'm going to quickly look over on my screen right here and see what Smite itself does. So 1/4 of damage dealt is removed from... Okay, so this one is a lot stronger. Well, instead of 1/4, it's 1/3. But it also drains yours. Is that correct? Opponents and your own prayer. So it's easier to smite people, but you could also be smited. So basically, if they're not using smite, you could smite them a lot quicker, but you would need to take more prayer potions. It definitely could be used in rushing scenarios, I see, or maybe really good PKing scenarios, but... Or there's that new boss that you have to smite as well. Maybe this could be used there. Don't hate it. Okay, so the next one here is called Gambit. It's overhead, and it increases your accuracy with all combat styles by 1% per 3% missing HP. So does that pretty much mean if you're missing all your HP, you're going to be like 30% more accurate with all combat styles? I can see this coming useful at bosses where you're like almost out of food or something, or are you going to have to take the... that whatever it's called, the rock cake or whatever it is with you all of the time now, like the orb. So is it like Darox but with any gear? Kind of seems like it would be like that as a Hands of Prayer. Lower HP you are, it's not too difficult to get a little boost from this prayer. The player is willing to risk it all and flick between... Okay, I was going to say, if this is an overhead prayer, you wouldn't have this on as well as, say, protect from magic or whatever that might be, right? So you're going to have to flick between the defensive overheads. It's going to be for the sweaty players, it seems, but it could be fun to test out on certain bosses. Like, I'm trying to think of ones that you stay low all the time, or it wouldn't really matter. Say something like the giant mole, or I don't know. There's a ton of other bosses where you could stay low HP and just destroy them with this. It could be really cool, but it won't be super useful in all scenarios because you're going to have to flick back and forth from the protection prayers, right? Okay, the next one here is Reboot. It's an overhead as well. It reflects 15% of damage taken, but increases damage taken by 25%. I actually think this is very cool. So if you get more damage, if you take more damage, you'll reflect more. So you can kind of have certain bosses, maybe certain Slayer creatures, almost kill themselves in a way if you could somehow sustain food. Or, you know, some bosses that hit a lot, you could just quickly maybe double eat, and then it will 15% of that damage will go on to them. It could be really useful in some scenarios. So let's see. Example, if a boss would hit you a 60, instead it would deal 75 damage, and you would reflect 11 damage onto the boss. Could be cool in some scenarios. I'm thinking like group work as well. You could have like one account be the Reboot or Reboot account at a certain boss, maybe a raid. I definitely think this one will be really fun to play around with. I do like the fact that you can actually have this on and have the boss deal damage to itself pretty much. The thing is, though, this is again another overhead, so you won't be having, say, Prey melee on or whatever. Kind of an interesting thing Jagex is going with doing this. Like, it says another risk versus reward, right? And then we have some more of these types of prayers. So this one is offensive, 20% attack plus 30% strength. Pretty great. Then we've got the ranged variant, 20% range plus 30% range strength. These seem pretty good. And then Vaporize is the plus 25% magic and 4% magic damage. Again, seems really good. Let's see what they say. A punch with their counterparts. Yeah, so it's basically like their counterparts. So it's like piety, rigor, and augury. This would be really useful for somebody maybe like who wouldn't have rigor or augury, but none of the defense bonuses. Okay, so it's basically just the punch without the defense. So it could be interesting. Prayers preferred post drops, similar to the player scrolls you can obtain from the chambers of Zarek. Huh. So these will be basically drops from the new bosses that you can. Yeah, I like that. So that it's not just like you won't need to do Chambers of Zarek anymore. So yeah, cool. Because I was gonna say, like, if they just added these without making them like the boss drops, then everyone would just have this all the time and have no need, and those prayer scrolls would go down in value, right? But I like this. I do. Okay, the next one here is called Vindication. I don't know if I'm pronouncing any of these things right. Utility/combat. When reduced below 10% of your max HP without taking damage, Vindication will heal you 15% of your prayer level, draining 100% of your remaining prayer points. Upon activation, grant 10% bonus attack damage on your next attack. Well, that's a lot. I'm going to have to think about this for a second. Okay, so am I getting this right? So pretty much we're in a scenario right here where we've got 3 prayer points left. We get ourselves down to 10% of our max HP, and then this will heal 15% of your prayer, but drain 100% of your remaining prayer points. So you'll get a little bit of prayer back for going lower HP. Again, with the risk versus reward. Yeah, it's a well-timed redemption can sometimes be the difference between life and death. Vindication is no different, except you're healing less to gain an offensive. Okay. It's kind of like, yeah, exactly like redemption, really, but you gain prayer. Don't hate it either, but upon activation, 10% bonus damage. So you're like going really low, getting your prayer back, and your next hit is huge. I like it. Okay, the next one here is Metabolis. Utility/combat. Eating delay is reduced by 0.6 seconds while active. So is this pretty much going to make eating faster? Turn this bad boy on and encourage yourself when disabled. Your action delay would be reset to your weapon's attack speed. Huh, this one's a little confusing. I think it means basically you can eat faster. I'm not sure how fast we eat now, but that could be interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to work with like tick food, like carbons and stuff. I would love to see this be a little more explained. Okay, Wrath is the next one. It's combat. And while active, deal damage equal to 25% of your prayer level in a 5x5 radius around you on death. Okay, so it's like this one but was bigger. So pretty much while active you will deal damage 25% of your prayer level. Is that so? Say you have 99 prayer, you're going to deal 25 damage. I think that's what that means on a 5x5 radius. I don't see this one being extremely useful, but maybe I'm reading this wrong. Okay, so the next one is called Ruinous Grace. I don't know. Yeah, Ruinous Grace. It's a utility prayer. While active, drain prayer points instead of run energy. This drain rate is modified by prayer bonus and does not take into account stand. Oh, okay. So could you just have like a ton, like a plus 30 prayer, and then just be sipping prayer potions instead of staminas, like, or energy? Like, this could be useful for maybe Ironman before they have stamina potions. Or in the really weird scenario when you're doing a quest, for example, you used all your run energy, you put your prayer on, and then you got double the run energy. I do like this because you could get double the run energy if I'm thinking this is how you use it. Have you ever gotten halfway through the underground pass before realizing that you forgot a stamina? Yes, 100%. Would let you keep zooming at the expense of your prayer points. So if you don't need prayer points, you could just use this and run instead. I like this. This is great. Ooh, I'm excited. We're getting into some scaling prayers, which is something that I've really wanted to see in the game for a very long time. Okay, so we've got the first one right here. It's a skilling prayer. While active, you have a chance to prevent a resource from depleting when harvest. Conservation. Sacrifice a couple of inventory spaces for some prayer, restoring potions. Have a small chance of preserving a resource like a runite rock. Okay. I do like this. This one will be good, like the example for something like rune rocks or something that you don't really want to go quickly. I can't think of anything else. Rune rocks, that seems like to be the only thing that would come to mind. But I guess even other things like yew trees or whatever that might be. Yeah, good. I mean, it could be better, but not too bad. The next one, I'm not going to even try and pronounce any of these things. Ancient Abundance, skilling. While active, increases success chance while gathering. So this one offers a buff to activities like Hunter. I can see it being really helpful with Hunter. Woodcutting, fishing, and mining. Similar to invisible boosts you might find in some skilling guilds. Okay. So it's basically you put this prayer on, and it's just going to be better for skilling. Like it. It's like you might as well, use a couple prayer potions, but you get a better experience rate, better chance of getting stuff. Why don't we already have this in the game, right? Okay, the next one is Ancient Offering, skilling. While active, you have a 75% chance to destroy a resource when obtaining it, but drain one additional prayer point whenever a resource is destroyed. So basically for more AFK, right? Let's see. If you're looking for a little more AFK time at resources that don't deplete fishing spots, for example, and don't mind drinking a couple of prayer potions, this could be perfect for you. Can you imagine, what am I trying to think of, that one fishing spot where you're barb fishing? You just bring like half an inventory of prayer potions, and then you can just sit there AFK for even longer. I really like this. This is going to be really good for playing 2 accounts. Hopefully this one does come into the game as well. I am a little sad to only see 3 skilling prayers. I was really hoping we'd get skilling prayer. I mean, it's hard to think of skilling prayers, right? I'm thinking back to the RuneScape 3 days where they were really overpowered. But when they did release the skilling prayers into RuneScape 3, I liked them a lot. But I would love to see some more be added to old school. Who knows? Maybe one day we could get a whole skilling prayer book or something like that. But I just, it seems like really weird how something like magic can be super useful for skilling, right? There's so many different spells that can help skilling. But with prayer, there's never been anything to help skilling. I just think it's interesting. I think we should definitely implement prayer more, and maybe even make more people want to train prayer to higher levels to help them with skilling rather than PVM. I just think it's a really cool thing to add into the game. Overall, all of these new prayers that they want to add into the game seem good to me. There weren't any that were like super alarming. Like Jagex said, they weren't going to pretty much just make them new best in slots, which I'm glad to see. Because if you think about it, they made this new prayer book, everything was just a better upgrade to what we already have. Nobody would use the regular existing prayer book, and then again, it would just be more powerful and create power creep into the game, which is something we don't need. I like the fact that we're going to be able to choose 2 different books, whichever might be better at one particular boss or one particular slayer task, or now even skilling. This one's going to be better for skilling rather than the traditional prayer book. It's really cool aspect that they have added into the game. I like all of the prayers that they've had are going to be adding. I kind of hope there will be a few more for skilling, but that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think about all of the brand new prayers down below. Do you like them? Do you think they all should pass? What is your favorite one? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video today. If you went ahead and watched the whole video, go ahead and comment ancient prayers down in the comments below. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya later.